Hello, chat. Good evening. And it is Wednesday night. We've got like a triple header ahead of us. So get ready for some fun stuff going down. It's gonna be a fun time, let me tell you what. It's gonna be real good. We got a lot of neat things to cover. Some of that's gonna be a bit doom-pilly, but there's gonna be some interesting things that have hit the dockets. And yeah, it's gonna be short and sweet. We are going to It's not my birthday, not for another couple months. Uh, anyway, yes, that's thank you. Thank you though. Uh my hair's going the wrong way. What do you mean? It's staying on my head. We don't get reaped. My family doesn't get reaped, particularly. The men in my family don't get reaped that bad, so we're all right. See what else. But anyways, let's see what else you guys are saying here. After we're gonna get into this here about Alito and Thomas. We'll discuss that a little bit. And we're gonna get started here, guys. Anyways, welcome to the show. I'm Sean, potentially criminal, and here we go. It's time to get started. This is one of the. I've been doing these for a while now, and people seem to enjoy it. It's kind of the more political show. I mean, obviously, there's legal stuff involved, but it also covers all the things in the world. And you could say, I like to say, I try to, be a little more certainly. We'll see what happens there, but I think you guys will like it if you guys haven't been here before. Afton giving 5 subs. Thank you for your support, your generosity. You know what? That gets us started off with tonight's big support, guys. It gets us in a woo. I don't know what more, what more you could want. It's Clyde. He goes a woo. He's a dog. Like, what more do you want out of life? I mean, there might be a lot of things you want out of life, guys, but I think that's pretty good. I think it's pretty good, honestly. If you ask me, I think that's pretty decent. So, but what do I know? I'm just a fat guy in Ohio who has a dog named Clyde. So, I may not know a whole lot, chat. I may not know a whole lot. But we are also going to cover the Juliana Margolez, or how you want to call her. She is the nanny. She is the accomplice in the Brendan Banfield murder trial. We are going to cover that. We are going to cover that and go through her sentencing probably around 8:30 or so. And from there, we are going to do a members only. And it's going to be a call-in show. I think you guys are going to like it. We are going to do... we're going to do a little bit different here as far as things are concerned. We're going to do a little bit differently. We're going to have you guys, we're going to set up a StreamYard link. I'm going to have you guys try to come into it. And, you guys can... Whatever you have questions about, whatever you want to say, we'll let you do it. And I think that'll be a fun thing tonight. We're going to try to start that around 9 or whatever we get done. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a very fun time. And I think that's how... Because I tried to pick Rob Doerr's brain about how he does. He didn't get back to me, but I think that's how he does it. And if he doesn't do it this way, I mean, whatever. We're still doing it. So that's how we're going to handle this tonight. So join us. I think it will be a blast. I think you guys will have a lot of fun. So make sure you get those subs. Rolling out there, chat. If you want to make sure other people are there, or if you just want it for yourself. Alrighty, that's one way of handling it. Be selfish, keep it for yourself. Don't let other people have it. But anyways, I hope you guys have had a good day. I had an okay day today. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. We had some good news come in out of nowhere. In the mail came the printer head for my printer. So thank you, Thank you, Eddie Cubic, for actually fulfilling the order. I was really worried about this because I had bought it for like $10 and they said, "Oh, we'll send it to you." And they go, "Oh no, many apologies. We have no more printer heads." And then all of a sudden this shows up like a month after I ordered it. So, and oh no, did it just shit the bed? Hold on, chat. I gotta go fix this. I think my printer just is gonna die again. Hold on. I don't know what's going on here. So let me be right back. Let me go fix this. Sorry, I was trying to print more little holders for these paints. And I already got one half of it done, and then the other half, it killed it previously. And now I look up, and on top of the printer, there's like a bunch of ribbon falling off the side. And I'm like, oh no, bad spaghetti. So I had to go fix that. Sorry. It's like so sad, so sad. Oh. Luke says, I'm more commie than most of y'all, so you bait him here with SCOTUS coverage. Well, we're going to start off on that. I'm the only progressive commentator. Like, thank you. Thank you. Just like I'm the most pro-cop YouTuber, apparently. Thank you. Time to prank call me. Yeah, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Yeah, it has started. Yeah, sorry, like I said. Yeah, anti-rice and anti-rice or GTA. There you go. Sprinter knows you like spaghetti. Yeah, that's rough. It's rough. So, which printer would Fudbusters recommend? I'm printing another super safety. I mean, I'd already do that. All right, looks like I was dipped in bleach. Well, there you go. That's how white I am. All right, so guys, let's start off. This is there's these allegations that Alito's going to retire. Who where are the ashes? I got home and I realized it was already Ash Wednesday. So yes. Happy Ash Wednesday to everybody out there. We now begin 40 days and for Lent. And I know some people real quick, I know some people like, well, Lent's about like giving something up for Lent. It is like when you're, that's part of it is sacrifice and all that. But as my priest, when I was a kid, he brought up, and this was, I think, something, as we got a little older, we weren't the, when you're a PSR and you're not like, once you get to like high school, he really brought this up. He said, it's not just about for 40 days, giving up something. He's like, yeah, that's like the easy way of doing it. But he's like, for 40 days, do something good, do something positive. So You know, whether it's like for 40 days, you do more praying, you know, you say the rosary, you do this, that, or the other. He said, but whatever it is, you know, do a thing for 40 days. And I'm like, you know, do something that betters you for 40 days. And that's an interesting thing to look at and to do. You know, can I give up food for 40 days? Yeah. Thank you. I give a black Twitter for Lent. Yes. All right, guys. But anyways, it's time to go. It's time to go on here. Speaking of Catholics, you know, we got Alito. But anyways, here we go. This is the current makeup of the Supreme Court. Obviously, remember, chat, the Supreme Court, you are nominated and you serve a lifetime tenure. As all federal court judges, you are there till you either die or resign. So I hear a helicopter coming, and I'm like, it's a helicopter with a tail fan, and I'm like, uh-oh, I guess the HRT is coming after me after all. But no, it's not that. It looks like it's, I don't know, some sort of life flight helicopter. Yeah. Sorry, I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, as it goes, it's very much, it's not like Starship Troopers where you're there till you get killed or you can find somebody better. No, it's a lifetime tenure. It's how you go there. And no, the FBI hostage rescue team, not the hormone replacement therapy. Now, how is this going to work? Well, here's the breakdown currently of all the Supreme Court justices. And you know what? This is organized at a beautiful thing here. So we're going to use Wikipedia because it's, you know what? It's the best. So starting off, we have John Roberts. John Roberts is 71 years old. And many of you, like, think about that, guys. He was 50 when George W. Bush nominated him. And it's like, I remember that. But it was 2005. He's been there for 20 years. And he replaced William Rehnquist. You're like, okay. Clarence Thomas is 77. He's been there a while. He replaced Thurgood Marshall. And now we have Samuel Alito. He's 75. It's getting old. And some of you might say, well, 75 is not old. But think about it this way. And my grandpa said this to me before he lost his mind. And, you know, I've heard other older people say this in the meantime, too. But, you know, when you're older, and once you get to 65, things really change. Like every year matters and really drastically ages someone. You know, going from, 60 to 65 isn't that big a deal. When you get 65 to 70, a lot changes. When you go from all right, hold on, chat. God damn it, this printer just shit the bed on me again. Give me 1 second here. Hold on. It's so weird. It's like the thing that it sits on, that like little thing you can peel off, the plate. For some reason, it's not sticking to it. I don't know if I have to clean that or something. I don't know. Anyway, we are getting on here. Alito's 75 years old. 75. Sonia Sotomayor, 71. And she's got diabetes. She's actually very, like, her health is a lot more on the risk here. But think about it. When you're 60, 65, it's a lot. 65 to 70 is a lot. And then when like 70 to 75 is a big difference for people. And then 75 to 80, think about how people age. Like after you're 70, like every year, boom, 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 boom. You know, they start coming and they don't stop coming. Elena Kagan, 65. You know, Gorsuch is 58. Kavanaugh is 61. Amy Coney Barrett is 54. And Ketanji Brown Jackson, she's 55. They're all pretty much, you know, they're all up there. They are all up there. And a bunch of them are boomers. But yeah, this is starting to become an issue, especially these two. But what do you do? Because, I mean, let's be real. You're not going to find another OG like Clarence Thomas, no matter, like, think about it. All the cocks in the Senate, they ain't going to give us another Clarence Thomas. We're not going to get what we need. We're not going to get what we need out of the Senate. They're not going to give us what we desire. So we're going to get cucked out with some goober bullshit pick. But that's what you're going to get. And that's where, you know, I'm not going to gas you guys up. And I'll be realistic about it. That's not what we're going to get. You know, we're going to have to suffer. Chat. We are going to have to suffer. And it's infuriating because that's what's going to happen to us. We are going to have to suffer. Now, has anything actually been said so far? I mean, there are some rumors that Alito might be getting sick. He might have, like, there's a rumor he has dementia. Joe, I've heard that too. But ultimately, yeah, the average of getting on the court is 50-ish, so the last four are pretty young. Yeah, well, Clarence Thomas was really young when you think about it. He was 53 when he got on board. That's the impressive part. Clarence Thomas was 43. And you know, the sad thing is I'm like 40 and it's like, what have I done with my fucking life? It's like, wow, Sean, you're doing awesome. You just come on here, you know, do this. And it's like Clarence Thomas was 43 years old and he got on the Supreme Court. Like, God damn. It's like, what am I doing with my life? If you guys don't know, anyway, here he is. This is actually a lot of things that Clarence Thomas has been part of. You know, he was chair of the EEOC. He was a lot of different things there in the government. He went to Holy Cross and Yale. If you guys know Holy Cross, it is a private Jesuit school. Clarence Thomas has been there, done that. Got the T-shirt. You stream and I defend meth heads of a life well lived, I say, yes. Yes. And here's the thing here. One more chip. Yeah, and then, Luke, this is the thing here. They say that. And that's where, but like this article here is a great example of, you know, what do we really know? And the answer is we don't know shit. So could Alito retire? Well, they get through here and they talk about what's going on. So what do we know? Well, he's been there for 20 years. Alito just got to 20 years. And that's a milestone on the Supreme Court, getting past, you know, 20 years. And there he is, 20 years and 19 days. He really just got on there. But when you look at what's going on here, this thing is kind of goobery here, because they say there's reports that speculation has intensified. So notice, it's all like unnamed sources and babble. But there are things that, you know, if you're the White House, you might consider. And this is true. In the first 2 years of a presidency are when most of the 8 of the past 10 presidents have had at least one vacancy. And that would align with historical patterns. It would also allow Trump to take advantage of the Senate before he has to worry about anything. Although the big problem here is most of the government's a bunch of cocks. So are we going to get what we need? Like I said, probably not. You know, Alito wants to publish a new book later this year. That's an issue for him. You know, nobody really knows, though. You know, and nobody has to retire at any age, and there's no specific length of time. So Alito could do whatever he wants. And yet no formal steps have been announced. Nobody knows anything. But here's what you get. You get a bunch of pontificators. It's people like it's Kremlinology, like a bunch of elites and academics trying to tell you what they think. So this one lady's like, oh, at NYU, she's like, 20 years is really good. And Steve Vladeck, this guy's a fucking whiny little bitch at Georgetown. He says, the book tour was a pretty big tell since one can't go on a book tour during the first session of the term. And that's, yeah, maybe. But they do point out that book buyers are much interested, this guy point out, they're more interested in what a current justice has to say as opposed to a retired one. He said, I could see Alito not wanting to step down until well after publication. Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. Like, it's there's nothing stopping him from doing it. There's nothing stopping him. Yeah, and that's the big thing here. We'll know when it comes to hire clerks for the next term. If he doesn't, that's the tell. Yeah, because you need law clerks. And if you don't hire law clerks, then, yeah, you're kind of telling everybody you're quitting. But we won't know for sure. Radcon says, ironically, use a glue stick on the plate. Yeah, because, like, it's, I don't know. And I was worried because I think I set the print height down to, like, 0.01, and I think I left it to 0.06 or 0.16. I made it a little thicker back to normal. And, yeah, maybe I'll put some glue on there, and we'll see what happens. Trump has been talking about Cruz. I heard that, but that just sounds like such garbage. Sounds like I'm such garbage. So, are you doing first layer tests? No, it's all ready to go. Like, it's starting to print it. Aaron just has to put some goo on it. Yeah. Well, and actually, hold on one second. Yeah, I doubt it would be Ted Cruz, and that's the thing. Ted Cruz is older to start with, but yeah, that's the thing. We don't actually know the answer to any of this, so it's all up in the air for now. I know people think like, oh, this says like we're gonna blah, like we don't know yet. How this is all set up to go. Hold on here. It's just there's no clear answer to what we're doing. We don't really know yet. My guess is one of the Sauer, Ho, or Van Dyke. Yeah, there are other people that could be options. Van Dyke is the guy who put together on the Ninth Circuit where he's sitting there playing with all his guns. He's the competitive shooter guy. Ho is the James Ho is the OG over on the Fifth Circuit who's been just dropping bombs as far as things are concerned. But people are wondering about Ted Cruz. I mean, I don't see the benefit in having Ted Cruz. He's 55 right now. So that's good. But Judge Ho out of the Fifth Circuit, if you don't know, this is interesting. This is him. This is Judge James Ho. He's out of the Fifth Circuit. He was appointed by Trump. He is the Fifth Circuit's only Asian American judge and the only judge to be an immigrant. So if you guys notice, it's interesting. We finally have a judge where it's like, unlike all the other judges we get who have a bunch of names that sound like they've been through the fucking, they drug their name through the consonants and the alphabet. Judge Ho was born outside of the United States and actually respects the fucking United States. We don't have all this bullshit from the other judges. He's younger. He's 52. So he's a hot young thing. He was a Solicitor General of Tejas, and then he became the United States judge for the Fifth Circuit back in 2018. So he's been there for a couple of years. He's got a lot of practice. Yeah, once again, as I get older, I'm like, wow, look at me go. But this is him. I don't think it'll be D. John Sauer. God, I don't know if I want him and his voice on there. I don't know if I want his voice on the Supreme Court stuff like every day like that. That would just cause me to go crazy. That said, D. John Sauer is only 51. It would be, possible. And some of you might say, well, he's not a judge. But that hasn't stopped it before. Like Elena Kagan wasn't really a judge before she became. Elena Kagan was actually, what the hell was she before? She just basically became, she became the Solicitor General, and then they threw her on the Supreme Court. So she didn't have any experience at that. Like literally she was the dean of Harvard Law School. Obama appointed her Solicitor General. And then with less than a year on the job, bam, she became, Associate Justice. So it's not uncommon. It has happened. Like when Bush tried to do it for Harriet Miers, his White House counsel, it wasn't done there. I say Sauer mainly because Trump likes promoting his friends, and Solicitor General is a valid path. Yeah, it's like Paul Clement's top role has been attorney or Solicitor General. Yeah, Taft wasn't a judge before SCOTUS. Yeah, well, that's not common like that though. So we just don't know what's going to happen. I know you guys are worried. Hey, it's our Ariel saying we need an American. Shake my head. Yeah, but I'll tell you, Ho's like, he's a foreigner who's like, I believe in America and I love America. So it's like, we got to find the right foreigners. Got to find the right foreigners. That's how you do this. That's how you do this. Nico says, I think Sean and Ho should have a sandwich summit. Well, I guess. BobTube for $5 Australian. $5 doodles. He said, you'd have 408,000 subs if you yelled at Kurt videos every day. Yeah, I mean, once again, it's like what you got to do. I mean, some people, but apparently there are people who think that's content, and there are people who actively support it. And it's like, hey, takes all kinds. There's people who unironically think Dark Side Phil is quality content as well. So it takes all kinds on the internet, chat. It takes all kinds. Really, it does. And it's like, who am I to judge? Who am I to judge their taste? Who am I to judge their taste and their entertainment choices? Radcon says use a glue stick. Yeah, I'll have to try that. I'm just surprised because I've never used one before and I've never had a problem before. And all of a sudden it's not working. But I'll keep that in mind. You know what? Hold on here. I'll just go on because I don't have a glue stick, but I have Elmer's glue, but I know that's not going to work, right? So hold on. Amazon.com. Hold on. What's that, babe? Oh, you think they're in the garage? Oh, well. Okay, well, we may have to try that. She says we might have some. So tonight, I'll go take a look. I shall go take a look. Let's see here. Where was I looking for? There we go. All right, so we'll take care of that later. Bob 2 says, does it mean Pam Bondi on the Supreme Court? Everyone wins if she leaves the White House. Don't you? You joke, but putting her on the Supreme Court, may Allah strike you down for such comments, for such heresy. I don't want Pam Bondi anywhere near the Supreme Court building. God almighty. If Pam Bondi gets nominated to the Supreme Court, I'm going to lead a group of people to torch that motherfucker down. I'll be one of the first people standing out front with a torch. Well, I'll probably be sitting on a flower, one of the flower planters. But I'll be right there hoping the place burns to the ground if Pam Bondi gets on the Supreme Court. They don't want to burn down the Senate for thinking that's a good idea. No. We're not doing that. Steve Cooper for $5 says Clyde for SCOTUS. Hey, buddy, come here, Clyde. Come here, Bubba. Come here. Clyde. Hi, buddy. Come here. You were sitting, like, you were right next to me, and I turned and you moved. You little fucker. He does that. Like, there's times where he won't come in, and then he's just sitting there looking at me, and I turn, and he's like, oh, he's like a little kid and runs away. But Clyde for SCOTUS, thank you, Steven. And then Debbie O for $2. Thank you, Debbie. Good to see you. Edith Jones. Yeah, the Fifth Circuit has great opinions lately. Yes. That is the lady that Ryan Mullally, we covered her opinion out of the Fifth Circuit. Yeah, she's had some good opinions, but Ho is like die hard on the right, like super hard right. Absolutely based. And then Anonymous for $5. I haven't said this in a bit, but thank you for what you do and putting up with my bullshit. I mean, honestly, though, you know, you guys put up with me. Like, that's the thing. Thank you for putting up with my bullshit. You should be looking at me and saying, Sean, welcome home. Like, you guys are the ones who should be telling me welcome home, okay? Like, you guys come here and I get to come into your lives. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Put Bronca for SCOTUS. I mean, would he just yell at all the women attorneys? I mean, that'd be kind of funny. Yeah, can we put Rich from Angry Cops on there? That'd be kind of funny. Put him up there with his fucking campaign cover on. That'd be funny as hell. Dave says, hey. Hi. Get a rooftop Korean on the bench. Yes. Better call Bards to be on SCOTUS. Nah, I'm good. Put DSP on SCOTUS. That'd be great. Have him with his fucking virtual boy on, playing with it. Just narrating their things. It's a good thing you didn't have a real game or a real virtual boy, man. I remember my brother had one of those, and I got sick using it because it made me vomit. Judge Ascarate's retiring, sent her to SCOTUS. I don't know if you'd want her. I don't think she's very. You got to be careful. Me was loving that DSP stream this morning. Yeah, I saw it. It's hilarious. Judge Joe Brown. No. Joe Nome says, think of all the covering up for Epstein that Bondi has done. Trump owes her. Yeah, but it's still, Pam Bondi's a liability. She needs to, you need to cut the grass when it comes to people like Pam Bondi. So. And then EDW Raptor for $5 says, happy birthday, Sean. It's not my birthday, chat. It's not my birthday. Volta Tropos says, Josh cries out for your help. Will you answer? I mean, is he talking about like with the stuff in Ohio? I've already helping people do some things. I haven't talked to him in a little while, but yeah, I'm always willing to help people. I've just been helping people organize some stuff and put some stuff together. I just didn't feel like running for office this year. So what if Trump nominates Candace Owens? Does that mean we'll get to find, like, will she force Brigitte Macron to come into the middle of the Supreme Court and pull up her skirt and we can see if she's got a pecker? Oh. And yes, there's been a lack of state Supreme Court picks lately. Give you one of the based Arkansas judges that helped Aaron Spencer. Yeah, here's the problem, though. If you do that, the court goes back to a 3-3 tie. And then it might become 4-3 unbased. So, no, Arkansas needs everybody it has to stay stable. I would go out of my way to get Sean as the Ohio governor. You would not like. I'd be the worst governor ever. I'd disband half the government. So, Candace Owens trying to read is a great Twitter follow. Yeah. Yes. So, Matt LaRosier, Fudbusters for Supreme Court. I could see that. I could deal with that. So, I pronounced best governor wrong. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Now, moving on from there, we have some updates on some stuff. Okay, chat. Okay. So we have updates. If you guys remember, there was the terrorist attack on the ICE facility that was being undertaken. And this happened last year. And if you guys remember, this was like a legitimate terrorist attack. It was a whole group of them, like 12 of them, showed up. They planned and created an entire thing. And then they showed up wearing body armor, tactical clothing. And what did they do from there? Well, they went ahead and launched an attack on the facility. Oh, hold on 1 second. Clyde, come here, Bubba.
Hey. We'll probably get loud. Yeah.
Hi, Clyde. Hi, Bubber Bear. Hi, Bubby.
What did you do to this door?
What?
What did you do to this door?
I don't know. I'm live right now, so just
Hi, Chad.
Anyway. Hi, Chad. 2.0's got company, so we got some Clyde right now, and I'm sure she's gonna.
Did you ever wear this?
Yes, I've worn it a couple times. You don't notice. I didn't realize there was a backside. I only know the front. I only knew there was the front.
Really the same, though.
Oh, well, no, it's not. One's got eyebrows.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, Clyde, I'm gonna set you down, buddy, so I can get some work done.
Let's go eat ice cream cake, Clyde. Come on. Let's go ice cream. Oh boy.
Happy birthday, sweetheart, again.
Love you.
Mwah. Love you too. All right, so you guys got some Clyde. Got some Clyde action for you. Did she bring an audience for the call-in show? Yes. Yes, she did. EDW Raptor says 2.0 is company. Best time to start going on an feminist rant. I'm not going to do that to her. I love her too much to do that. That would not be fair to her or nice to her. Oh, and I know why this didn't work. I saved this as the wrong file. I was wondering why I couldn't. That's why it didn't work. Okay. Okay. So I was wondering why it didn't show up for me the way I needed it to. It's like the thumbnail didn't appear. And I'm like, I don't want people to see my fat face on camera. They need to see the thumbnail. It needs to grip them. It needs to grip them. It needs to get their attention and captivate. It's like live patrol here. It's like live TV here, chat. Where's Chat's ice cream? Talk to your mother. Surprised I didn't run for the cake. I'm not a big ice cream cake guy. It's okay. I remember back in the day when 2.0 or when Dairy Queen, they had the original type ice cream cakes, and it was like ice cream cake version 2.0, where it was like an actual cake inside of it instead of just chocolate ice cream as an actual cake. I really liked that, but they quit doing it. Then yeah, that was like, those were the days. Sipping is why women are so fucked up now. Stop it. Well, yeah, that too. What about an ice cream sandwich? Those are always good. So. All right, guys. Now moving on from there, if you guys remember, this was the ICE attack at in Prairieland, Texas. And it was over July 4th, and it was done there. Remember, they attacked the ICE facility. They shot a bunch of fireworks at it. And as they moved in, and as the contractors went out there to go see what was going on, they started shooting at them. These people started shooting at government contractors. And then what happened? Well, there were police officers nearby, and they responded. And they shot a cop in the neck. And then from there, one of their kind got killed. And if you guys remember, that was the base part of things. That was the base part of this. And if we go to this map here, This is the Alvarado, the Prairieland Detention Center as part of the ICE facility. And these guys got out and they walked along the wood lines here and they set up from here and they started shooting at people. One of their buddies got killed right there. Headshot on the thing. And remember this, it was a group of 10 of them. Or I'm sorry, it was 11 of them, and one got killed. And as soon as their one guy got killed, they all decided, I don't want to play anymore. And they ran back here, they hopped in their cars, and they all tried to leave, and they all got arrested. We covered this. It's a terrorist cell. They found all the people, they rolled them up within a matter of like a week, and they got all of them done. Did the next shot kill him? No, the cop survived. The cop survived. Edie Dermott says, I used to work at DQ and make the cakes. Well, I need to talk to you then. So I need to figure out how you did it. Or tell me how you make a Treatza pizza. Those were good too back in the day. So one of them got killed. And, you know, it wasn't the, you know, I wish we would have got more. But, you know, you can only get so many. And the guy got fucking poleaxed and was just DRT. They dropped him like a sack of potatoes. And I was trying to find a picture of him, but we couldn't find a good one. But yeah, they killed him. They killed him. And you're like, base, it's great. Well, they are set for trial. They're set for trial. And ultimately, they've been set for trial and they were set to go. And what happened recently? Well, this came out on Tuesday. And the court put an order out. And this is very normal in cases. Courts will put out orders. And it's just an order of, you know, the court about what we're going to do, how we're going to handle stuff. So this comes out. It's hereby ordered that the doors of the courtroom will be open at 7 a.m. for attorneys and staff for the first week of trial, then 7 a.m. during the second week. The doors for the public will be open at 8:40 each day. The usual hours of trial will be 9 to 5. And it says, consistent with Judicial Conference of the United States, cameras and audio may not be used in the courtroom. This doesn't prohibit the attorneys and their assistants from bringing in devices. So, like, for example, if you're an attorney, you can bring in your phone. You can bring in a laptop. You just can't use it. Photographic, video, and audio recording is strictly prohibited. Okay. You know, people who are authorized by the court to have the courtroom cell phones shall ensure that it's silent. You cannot make anything that will distract the jurors or witnesses. Sketch artists preparing drawings are prohibited from drawing detailed sketches of any member of the jury. But silhouettes with no distinguishing features can be done. Seating in the gallery is first come, first served. There's no saving seats. They say, you know, and you can get kicked out. You have to comply with any request made by court security or staff. Members of the public may enter the courtroom once trial is started until a break. And then once a member of the courtroom leaves the courtroom during trial, they may not re-enter the courtroom until next break. I think he means once you're in the courtroom in the gallery, you can't come back. If you're ejected from the courtroom due to disorderly conduct, you can't re-enter the courtroom for the remainder of the day. There is no overflow. They talked about exhibits admitted evidence or published to the jury will not be available for the public. And it says all persons should wear appropriate attire for the courtroom. Graphic t-shirts, hats, shorts, costumes, and the like are prohibited. Yes, chat, you're not allowed to wear shorts to court. As a judge once told me, it is as one judge used to put on his door, Judge Christensen in Toledo, he said, it's the courtroom, not a beach. No shorts, no flip-flops, no tank tops. But notice this part here. No wearing graphic t-shirts or anything inappropriate. Food and drink are prohibited. And then it says juror contacts. Any attempt to contact jurors is prohibited. Conversation or interviews with prospective jurors before the completion of voir dire is prohibited. And then there's some media orders here. You can't interview participants inside the courthouse, and that members of the media refrain from photographing any jurors or prospective jurors. You're okay, that's pretty standard. You can't fuck around with stuff. I don't have a problem with that. That makes total sense to me. That makes I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. It works. It works. Well, what happened? Well, there was a mistrial in their trial. Shocker, chat. Because what happened? The judge declares a mistrial for the 9 charged with ambush at the ICE facility because of what the defense attorney did. Look at that. And look at that, chat. The defense attorney sabotaged it. What did the defense attorney do? Wore a t-shirt with the images of civil rights leaders. So here is the attorney. So a federal judge declared a mistrial for the shooting of a police officer at an ICE facility because the defense attorney wore a t-shirt with images of civil rights leaders on it while she was questioning potential jurors. And the judge became outraged, and he should. Because the attorney's name, Marquetta Clayton, God almighty, do not let Bronca see this. Holy shit, that man is going to go on the warpath. I mean, imagine that, chat. If Andrew Bronca sees this woman's name, God help everybody. God help everybody. Holy crap. Holy crap. This is, yeah. So she was wearing the shirt had images of MLK and Shirley Chisholm on it. And, you might say, well, wait, how do we know that for sure? Well, because there's pictures of her. But anyway, Shirley Chisholm is a former, she became the first Black woman elected to the United States Congress in 1968. And she was in New York. She was in Brooklyn. She was in basically the Bedford-Stuyvesant neighborhood, also known as Bed-Stuy, if you're being all hip with the kids. But yeah, very, very, very famous, very important person. But yeah, you're not allowed to wear political messages in court. You're not allowed to wear messages in court. And Midnight Excel said I lived in Bed-Stuy, yeah. And holy shit, we go on. And this is her leaving court. They're leaving court. And you're like, oh, she's wearing a white t-shirt. You can't tell. Well, notice what she's wearing underneath. She's clear. Imagine the fact you had to do that. Obviously, you realize you're fucking around. But anyways, the judge released all 75 jurors while accusing her of attempting to influence them by comparing the 4th of July attack with civil rights people. And notice, that's where they're going to. This is the furtherment of this. ICE are Nazis. ICE are the Gestapo. All of this is evil. This is just like 1939. This is not how you're supposed to do it. But this is what it is, guys. This is what happens when revolutionary communists get all revolutionary. They push their image and they fight like this. This is not a surprise. This is what, without rule of law, WROL is at the end of the day. Remember, chat, it's the phrase. You're going to have to get used to it. Without rule of law. Because if these guys get acquitted, that means you could shoot federal buildings and, nothing's illegal anymore. But it's WROL. We're at that stage. We're getting there. So I'm left to know their choice. I'm really surprised an attorney would do this. And then here's where it gets a little. The judge suggested it would be the first time in the history of American jurisprudence that a mistrial was declared over an attorney's clothing during jury selection. I find that hard to believe. It's not the first time attorneys sabotage a trial, but she should be punished for this. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It's yeah. It's absolutely garbage. It's absolutely garbage. And it's got to go. Tim Cass coming on. No, stay here. It's better. I'm better than Tim. Don't leave me. Is it time? I mean, it's getting there if we're not there yet. But if these guys can go to trial and they don't get convicted, I don't know what more you could do. I mean, if you can't get convicted for carrying some rifles out to a government installation and shooting at people, but you can get convicted for going inside the Capitol building unarmed, I don't know what to tell you, but I guess we're kind of at that point. It's almost about that time. You know, as Jack Reacher said, it's getting late. It's getting late. But here are the Antifa. A couple of these guys are troons, among other things there. But look at these, all these Rhodes Scholars. And your buddy got killed, you fucking losers. Shot in the fucking face. They put up the mistrial will cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the judge is ordering another 130 jurors to be convened. And yeah, these guys were part of a mob who wore military-style gear with tactical vests. And yeah, they launched fireworks at the building to draw people out and then started shooting at them. And this is part of what they did. They started attacking, and you could see there's double rows of concertina wire. They weren't necessarily trying to breach the facility, but you don't need to breach it to shoot at it. You could shoot at people through a fence. But this was entirely meant to lure people out and attack them. Besides, they weren't equipped to breach a fence. You need a lot to do that. And the ringleader is Benjamin. Why is I got this thing is like spurging out? Why is it doing? Oh god damn it. I hate it when it does this. Fucking New York Post. Why do you suck so bad? Why do you suck so much? Why do you suck so much? I take a good sense. Is this without or with prejudice? It's without prejudice because it's a mistrial. You couldn't do it with prejudice as defense conduct, because if that were the case, I'd do all kinds of shit to get it without with prejudice. But that's not the case. You weren't allowed to do that. So just use archive.is. I understand, but you got to sit there and do it. Yes, go to Reddit and search for Scream Pie. Yes, and you guys are like, oh, it showed my history. I'm like, it's literally all the stuff I've been trying to look for here for all of us. Yes. How many times did I look for Force Cream Pie? I can't understand why it, like, something's wrong with the New York Times. It keeps on, like, spurging out, and I don't know why. But anyway, ultimately, they're going to redo it. And if you guys wanted to see, here it is in the case itself. They show up and they have the Pacer. This is on Pacer here. And you can see the entries here, the minute entry for all of this. That the proceedings were held before Judge Mark Pittman for jury trial. Jury trial begun. Court declared a mistrial. And yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are. And then the next day, the government's motion for additional peremptory challenges were filed by the United States. And they're going to, they realize how dirty this is going to get, so they're asking for more. So it's ultimately garbage what's happened here. And if she doesn't get disciplined, I don't know what you could do at that point. You should be disciplined for this, regardless of who you are. You're not allowed to act the fool like that in court. You are not allowed to do that. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable conduct. Ghost says maybe there should be a standardized uniform in court. Attorneys and clients should wear a black robe, and judges' robes to solve the clothing problem. Well, I mean, they do that in England where, like, you wear robes and you wear wigs. We don't do that here. And, the judges in England will wear a red robe. We don't do that stuff, but I get it, but I don't like that. I don't like that. And then you have your fancy courtroom. You have your trial wigs and your trial robes. They do. There are attorneys, they have the fancy ones they use all the time. So, but yeah, that is you won't know. She won't. You fucking know she won't. I understand. I know she won't. And that's the part that pisses me off. She did all this and nothing's gonna happen to her. I would think if you told me, hey Sean, if you were an attorney and you called me and said, hey man, I got a trial coming up next week. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do all this shit and cause a trial to get I'm gonna cause a mistrial. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'd be on the phone like, are you fucking crazy? You're out of your fucking mind. I'd be like, bro, don't do that. You're going to get your asshole reamed out. And it sounds like that's not going to happen to her. She should have been held in contempt. Sanctions or contempt. Why not both? Why not both? JD Buck says they can wear sissy wigs too. They don't wear the courtroom wigs in Britain are not like that. The courtroom wigs they wear are basically they're like horsehair, but they're not like, some of them are kind of fancy, but some of them are basically kind of like flopped on your head. Like you're basically wearing a hat. Like you could see your sideburns and your ears. Like the judges wear the big ones that come down their shoulders and shit, but regular attorneys and barristers, I should say, don't wear those types of things. The judge in Edric Faust's trial doesn't even wear a robe. I'm okay with a judge not wearing a robe. You don't have to wear a robe. I've been for a bunch of judges, they don't always wear robes. Like some are like, I'm like, sometimes they're like, look, I like to work in, with shirt and tie. I'm okay with that at times. That's not a problem for me. Wear scrubs like in an medical office, no matter what their job is. Yeah, everybody wears a robe. Yes. You can also pull fire alarms in congressional buildings. They just go herp, burp, burp. I'm a big moron, and it's okay. It's okay. Fair Frozen says, is it your professional responsibility to report that to the bar if you're in the same jurisdiction? No, you don't have that kind of obligation. Like I mentioned this before, where there are some bar rules, like I have to report misconduct if I know about it, or I could get in trouble. This isn't one of those times, because think about it. If there's an attorney who breaks the law, does that mean, and it's on the news, does everybody in that state have to report him? No, that'd be preposterous. So no, you don't have to do that. It's a good question, though. This is actually a very good question. No. But I think she should be fucking reprimanded, and if she's not sent out for sanctions, I'd be very fucking pissed. I'd be very fucking pissed. But look, she gets to fuck around and nothing's gonna happen to her. And she's probably gonna get to show up at some fucking, luncheons and stuff like that. She's gonna be public defender of the year. The little commie friends are gonna suck her ball sack. It's bullshit. She should not be allowed to do that. She should not be allowed to do that. Yeah, she's black and she has nothing to worry about. Pretty much. Yeah, Rocco has robes and wigs. Yes. In some places in Canada, you still have to do that. Not everywhere, but yes, there are places in Canada you have to have robes and wigs. And then you have your fancy wigs. You have a trial wig, and then you have a normal daily court wig, because they can be very expensive, and you want it it's like people used to have beater cars, before cash for clunkers. People used to have a beater car they take to work. With the internet aristocrat, yeah. But do they wear pants? I mean, yes, because you basically show up at court, and then you put they have they have cloak rooms and robing rooms, and you just go in there and you slap on your robe and you slap your wig on and you go. So yes, it is privilege. It is privilege. So Ruckle does that for fun, yeah. Bob Johnson says, me in a robe be like a parade float. Well, they'd have to use a boat sail to make a robe for me anyway. Yeah, Black Belt Barrister said some of those really fancy wigs cost like 10 G's. Yeah. Like I said, you can get really fancy wigs and really fancy stuff done. But you can also have like really ghetto ones and like have cheapo ones done. But yes. Yes, Iron Knuckles, that's what I should do. I should dress as a clown for my next jury trial and tell the court, well, if you're going to make me spend all day at the circus, Judge, honk, honk. Like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Oh. Ryan Moore says you can probably smell the history. Yeah. No, Shar. If it's hot, you can't. Can you go pantless? No. Besides, most courthouses are air conditioned nowadays. Like, I don't really think there are any that aren't. So, so just borrow a wig from Maxine Waters. Yeah. Are the wigs still made from the hair of slaves? No, Marin said, I don't believe so. Tyler of the Perfect Storm says, can we A-log Ricada? I mean, what's there to A-log? I mean, like, you can sit here and say, oh, wow, he's a goober, but how much can you really say that? Nothing saying you can't wear your baldo. Well, yeah, I guess. Boosh says, no ticky, no laundry. Very correct. Terrorism is saying, is this a disbarable offense or would this be a wrist slap? I mean, this would be sanctionable conduct if you intentionally cause a mistrial like this. Would it be a disbarment? No, they wouldn't take your ticket. Could I see them suspend you? I mean, sometimes some misconduct is way too much. In this case, no, I don't see that. I can see you getting publicly reprimanded by, like, if I did that here in Ohio, I would expect a reprimand out of it. And like, I'd have to go take a bunch of CLEs and shit. But I wouldn't expect, like, you're suspended for practicing law for 6 months or something like that. Cause that'd be fucking, ooh, buddy. Oh boy. And then, Quicksilver says seems intentional, but then again, she's black, so she could do it because black history and all. Well, oh no. That's not very nice, sir. Not nice at all. Be nice, chat. Let's see here. Well, yeah, well, there you go. I don't know. There are some old courthouses out there. Yeah, Joe, there are, but for the most part, even those old courthouses, like, and I've been in some old ass courthouses, like ones that are old as dirt, and they do pretty good at, like, having HVAC and modern things in there. I'll, like, even in like Toledo, the felony courthouse there, the major courthouse for the county. They built it. It's like built out of sandstone and marble in a lot of spots. Well, to put wiring and stuff up, if you look down the hallways in the building, you could see just like stapled and bolted to the walls running along the ceiling are bundles of fiber and Ethernet cables and other things because there's no room to put them because the walls are solid stone. It's not uncommon. But they will upgrade and keep things going. So even in 2026, you're going to be hard pressed to find like a place that doesn't have climate control in the courthouse. It'd be really hard. Now, there are times where like air conditioning goes out and shit like that. And that's awful. That's awful. Then there's also some courtrooms where the way they're set up just right, the sun comes in and it doesn't matter that the air conditioning is going because it's fucking awful out. So in the summertime, especially, like there's times where like you're like, Judge, can I just not wear the coat? And Judge is like, yeah, don't worry about it. Happens a lot. Yeah, the courthouse in Karen Reed was like a very rare exception. Malcolm Combs says, could she be prevented from appearing in court? I think like the defendants have a Sixth Amendment right. Him doing that would cause a massive appeal issue. Has that attorney done such misconduct that they can't be in the courtroom? No. Then there's also the idea that a judge really can't bar you from a courtroom. And I think because I've seen this before where like, judges have threatened to kick certain attorneys out. And it's like, if their conduct's that bad, you should be grieving them to the, disciplinary authority. But then it becomes a problem of, well, if you don't do that, but you think it's so bad of a conduct, and then you don't report them, you're in trouble as well. So no, I would say she's probably not. She probably could be kept from trial, but he could hold her in contempt. He could fine her like $1,000 or probably not like $10,000. I'd see a court of appeals striking that one down, but like I could see her fining her like $1,000. You could make her go sit in court, make her hold her in contempt, and after the trial's over, make her spend like a weekend in jail or something. I don't know, but I mean, this is direct contempt. It's direct contempt. She should have known better, and she did it anyway. And if he won't hold her in contempt, he doesn't have. If Judge Pittman doesn't hold her in contempt, he doesn't have a hair on his fucking ass. He's bitch made if he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. But anyways, Malcolm Combs for $2. Thank you. John in the Red Z06 says, you can't tell me what to do. You're not my real mom. Yes. And then Marlene says, how does it help her clients though? This has to be part of it. Seems so little payoff. Well, I mean, part of the problem when you get an attorney who's a political activist, sometimes they worry about the activism more than you. So does this help keep that person out of prison? Not necessarily. Could it? Sure. I mean, are they hoping they could get some sort of hung jury, or they could get some sort of bullshit like's been happening across the country with hung juries or jury nullification? Sure. But yeah, it's it's not uncommon for that stuff. Not uncommon for that stuff. V2 says, go into blackface your next trial and say, Your Honor, my client is not guilty and it's Black History Month. You have to do what my black ass says. Well, I don't have any trials this month, thankfully. Marlene says, are the defendants sitting in jail? Yes, I'm pretty sure they're all being held without bond or had exorbitantly high bonds. If they're pretrial and not getting the privileges they will get in state prison, even in Texas. So making them sit longer in jail is abusing them. Well, they're sitting in a local county jail because the way the feds do it is they contract with local counties to house people. Not everywhere is like New York City where you have the metropolitan detention complex where it's just solely a Bureau of Prisons facility where they can house people. So, for example, if you're here in Cleveland, the U.S. Marshal's Office contracts with all the local county sheriffs for like a bed or two that they can pay for and that they can throw a guy into if they need it. And I've had clients who have been in federal custody, and I've been able to work with his attorney at the federal level, and we've been able to get him released to local custody under marshal supervision so I can help him work on his case at the state level. They generally don't have just straight up federal jails. So someone go do something so I get a trial this month. That's not a lot of. That's not really good. The Britso says, you see the video of the ghetto attorney being ghetto. That doesn't help me a whole lot. So, please be more I need you to be more responsive in your statement there. Oh. And then Joe is saying, have you ever suspected a judge you were in front of or watching was under the influence? No, but there was a judge once I was in front of where I thought he was suffering from, like, it seemed like he was having it seemed like he had a bit of a stroke for a second. But no, I've never been in front of a judge where I've suspected them being under the influence. So, let's see. Colorado has at least one federal jail. Well, they have federal prisons there. So when you're held pre-trial, you're not necessarily sent to a Bureau of Prisons facility. You're thinking of Florence, the Supermax, and then the U.S. Penitentiary. Those aren't jails. Gus Boot says, did you approach to ask to make sure he was okay? Both the prosecutor and I looked at the judge, and he seemed like he was kind of like daydreaming or drifted out. Like that's kind of like we kind of both were like, Your Honor, are you okay? And took him a second. He's like, yeah. And I don't know if he went to the hospital after that or got checked out, but he seemed to be okay going forward. Was he okay? I mean, I think so. I don't know. I got what I wanted out of it, so I wasn't going to challenge it too much. I'm just saying I wasn't going to challenge it too much. We got what we were looking for. So we'll take care of that. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm worried about. Did I get what I needed? Yes. Did I not? Why would I overturn it? Why would I overturn it? Why would I bring it up? No, the judge was fine. And after that, I've been in front of the judge in like 2 or 3 more years before he retired, and perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. So who knows what happened? Who knows what probably happened? We don't know. So moving on from there, there are some more things ongoing. Once again, we go back to the saga of the brave Maryland man / MS-13 member, Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia. I think. I remember the brave Maryland man who, is from El Salvador, and he just happens to wear Chicago bullshit because we don't know why. Even though apparently, MS-13 loves wearing Chicago bullshit. But he just happens to wear it because, it's a heckin' coincidence. I don't know. I think. So, anyways, this is brand new. This is 2/17/26. This is his case in the District Court of Maryland, where he filed a habeas petition. And this is the one where, once again, we have learned that DHS fucks around and they haven't done anything. So what happened? So on December 11th, they granted his petition for habeas corpus. And it makes sense because remember, we went over this. They were not doing anything to kick him the fuck out. They wanted to fuera him. And I learned it's fuera, not afuera, it's fuera. But they weren't getting rid of him. He said, I'll go to Costa Rica. And we're like, no, we want you to go to the deepest and darkest rape dungeon in Africa. And it's like, he wants to go. Let him go. Let him go to Costa Rica. Fuck him. He's not going to like it there. He might like it because it's not jail, but it's going to suck because it's fucking Costa Rica. Like, it's great for vacations, but you ain't going to want to live there. Anyways, he was immediately released. And remember, he's also got his Tennessee case that he's got from smuggling people. And from here, they pointed out the court had he never had a final order of removal. So you can't get ready to detain him to get rid of him. And you know what? That makes sense. That makes total sense. That we can't get rid of him because we don't have an order to get rid of him. Which I agree with. Here. Fair Frozen says, fuera and afuera are synonyms, Sean. You are correct in both. Well, thank you. But ultimately, we know the feds have fucked this up. The feds have fucked this all up. The feds have completely just ruined this fucking case. Because they could not detain him to effectuate removal anymore. And that makes total sense. And they concluded that if he had been held pursuant to effectuate third-party removal, his continued detention was unfirm under Zadavidas versus Davis. And because it took too long, nothing's happened. And it says, although they released him, they also appeared to make speedy plans to redetain him. And she's saying in violation of the spirit, if not the letter of that decision. So on the 12th, he filed a motion for a TRO to prevent that from happening. And now the judge is saying the matter is now ripe for resolution. For the reasons stated below, the court grants the TRO and converts the TRO to one for an injunction. And now his habeas petition prohibits his redetention. So what happened after all this happened? Within orders of all of this, an immigration judge named Philip Taylor issued a nunc-pro-tunc order to correct the scrivener's error, namely the omission of an order of removal to El Salvador within the October 9th, 2019 thing, granting the withholding of removal, and they called it a nunc-pro-tunc order. The nunc-pro-tunc order specifically, the written in this case by the following language: respondents ordered to be removed to El Salvador based on the charge contained in the notice to appear, but the application for withholding of removal to El Salvador is granted. Now they point out, and this is, I think, a problem for the court here. Neither party appealed the issuance of the nunc-pro-tunc order, and it became final on January 12th. The parties now agreed that as of October 2019, Abrego Garcia had been subject to an order of removal to El Salvador. Now remember, this is an issue here where people were claiming, well, no, actually it was all about Guatemala. And I know Robert Gouveia talked about this. Guys, no, everybody agrees. He agreed he couldn't go back to El Salvador. So that is where we are. Now, Maddie B brings up scrivener's error. Scrivener's error is just a typo. Because a scrivener is obviously the old-timey person who would sit down and write things out as a scribe. And it's a clerical mistake. Clearly we all agreed on X, and instead it was something else. Misplaced decimals. We switched up the date, September 11th, and instead it reads, 11/9 instead of 9/11, something like that. And they say the parties agree that the respondents, meaning the U.S. power to detain him, can only effectuate lawful removal of a third party, can only be to effectuate lawful removal of a third party country pursuant to the statutes that are there. Now, they point out that here's an issue for him. And Section 1231 says when a non-citizen is ordered removed, the Attorney General shall remove from the United States within a period of 90 days. And they say the removal period begins on other things. The date of the order removal becomes administratively final. And during that 90-day removal period, the non-citizen shall be detained. And if the non-citizen is not removed during this removal period, his continued detention may violate due process, and his release may be constitutionally compelled. Maddie, what are you saying? How do I just leave that? What part did I leave out? We just talked about that. I'm not sure what I don't get it. I don't know what you're getting at there. Sorry. Moving on from there, they say that because the nunc-pro-tunc order did not become final until January of this year, neither did the underlying 2019 thing. So now they're saying that we can now take him because we're going to remove him, and his immediate detention and resetting of the period are required. Now, what did they do here? Well, Abrego Garcia, and this is they left out the order to go. Well, yeah, but his order has to be finalized. That's something that even the DOJ is not arguing at this point. That he doesn't have a valid order of removal. They still haven't gotten one. If they had one, they could do whatever they wanted, but they've never done that. Now, Abrego Garcia says, and this is what I would say too if I was an attorney, this is actually a very good argument. The nunc-pro-tunc order merely corrected that which should have been recorded in 2019. And the self-styled scrivener's error did not render the removal non-final. Rather, the order of removal became final in November 2019 when the time to appeal the order had passed. And I agree with that. And she says he's got the better argument. I think that makes sense here too. Jeez, chat. Ooh, that went down the wrong pipe. That's what she said. Now, she says to understand, and this is actually good for you guys if you don't know what a nunc-pro-tunc order is. Oh, jeez. A nunc-pro-tunc order, chat, it means now for then. Nunc-pro-tunc orders, therefore, represent a narrow, equitable remedy, rarely invoked to make a record reflect what the court actually intended to do at an earlier date. So if everybody agreed something, put my arms up. Hold on. Oh, wow. That actually kind of helped. Holy shit. Thank you, Angela. And makes the record speak the truth. And I've had hearings where we've all agreed on something and the court sees it later, or I happen to look at the order later and go, uh-oh, judge, you said X instead, you meant Y. And we all agree that it meant Y, so the court orders a nunc-pro-tunc order. So the nunc-pro-tunc order has the same legal force and effect if it had done at the time it ought to have been done. They say the same legal force as if it was made at the time when it should have been made. So they point out that now they say, by contrast, a nunc-pro-tunc order is not one that rewrites the history of a case. Now, I agree. They kind of had to go back and they're kind of backdating shit. Just get a judge to say he no longer has an order of removal. Like, this is the thing here. Go in front of an immigration judge. Get the order of removal gone. Remove him to fucking El Salvador and just be done. I don't know why they can't fucking do it. Just get him fucking removed and do it the right way. We have do the process. It's not hard. Do the process. It's not hard. So she says, applying these principles, the nunc-pro-tunc order was necessary for the 2019 withholding to be legally effective. Now, she says, but the order of removal of El Salvador, which should have preceded the order granting him withholding from the removal of El Salvador, was erroneously admitted. Thus, the order did nothing more than add an order of removal effective in 2019, which became final 30 days later. So this should have been done by 20. By 2020, he should have been gone. And I agree with that. So to read the order otherwise would indeed rewrite history. And I think that's true. It's actually correct. So the removal period would eviscerate the 6 years when they did nothing to do anything about this. The reading would also erase this last year of detention and count none of it as relevant. They said the nunc-pro-tunc order simply made the record speak the truth. There was the withholding order was the removal of El Salvador. Great. You can remove it now. You can remove all of this now. Go in front of an immigration judge and fucking remove it. This is the one thing I want to ask Christy Nome. Why can't you just do this? Get an immigration judge. Have them agree. The Papusa, the Crunchwrap Supreme gangs in El Salvador. There's no reason anymore he can't go back. Sorry they think you're a fucking gang member. Maybe it's true. I don't know. Happy trails, asshole. And send him back. So it's just ridiculous here. You know, they point out that he has a final order of removal and withholding as of 2019. Get the removal order removed. It is not hard to do. This is like so simple. Get the order removed. I don't know why they can't fucking do it, chat. I don't know why. It's just a waste of fucking time. This is just a waste of fucking time. Why can't we get this done, for fuck's sake? Get this guy out of here. Like, nobody's disagreeing that he's not illegal. She's too busy having extramarital sex on deportation flights. That's based. If she's getting railed out, like if she's letting some dude hollow her out while like they're deporting people, like if it's happening while they're getting deported, that's pretty based. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of cool. Like, you know, these people are like, ay, 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 los míos. And she's just sitting there in the back of the airplane, just, you know, that's impressive. That's impressive. Good on them. Let's just get that going. Let's get that going. They would admit that because they that would admit they were wrong. Yeah, but you know what? He's gone because notice they haven't run this up to the Fourth Circuit yet, and they haven't run this up to SCOTUS. So that's their acknowledgement. This is probably they're in the wrong, and they need to get something done, but they won't fucking do it. That's the problem here. Just get this done. Like, I don't know why we can't just get it fucking done. This is so obvious. Just, you know what? Great. We'll lose, but you know what'll happen to the base? You want to energize the base? Start deporting motherfuckers. Because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to feel like emboldened. I'm going to feel, hell yeah, we got this. Now it's depressing because we can't get shit done. Nothing can happen right, and it's depressing. It's absolutely fucking depressing right now. That's the problem here. So they can do whatever they want. They could do it. They could totally do it right now. But they won't. And it's frustrating, chat, and it's sad. It's sad and pathetic. On this. They could just get it done. Now she's selling the videos of Corey Lewandowski. Good for her. Good for her. Oh, Bella's saying, no, the plan is supposed to be used deportation, but instead they use it for their affair. Oh, well, that's less funny. I thought it was funny. These guys are sitting. Yeah, it's with Corey Lewandowski. Yeah. I thought it was more like, you know, they're just sitting like all these Guatemalan guys are like, oh. And in the back, she's just like, just taking it. And it's like, that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. You got mad when we flared him. What the fuck? Follow the court orders. He has the withholding. So you know how you get around the withholding? The neat part is, the neat part of getting around this withholding order, you have a hearing where an immigration judge goes, yeah, he doesn't need that anymore. And then that immigration judge takes out a big old Sharpie and he finds that part of the immigration order and goes, shoop, through it. Done. And out the door he goes, back to El Salvador to get raped to death at CCOT or whatever the hell's going to happen to him. Not our problem. It's an easy fix. It's an easy fix. It could have been fixed many times over already. So that's the thing here, chat. That's the thing. Who is more incompetent, Chrissy Noem or Pam Bondi? Bondi. Pam Bondi by far. Attorney Eric says, can we just send him to North Algeria and be done with him? I'd love to. We got to get North Algeria to agree, and then we can send him. Like I get it. They want to send him to Kazakhstan so he dies in a potassium mine. Then talk to Kazakhstan and pay him a bunch of money and send him to go die in a fucking potassium mine. Just get it done. I don't care. I don't care where you send him as long as it's not fucking here. Send him to the Cook Islands. Or send him to those islands in the South Atlantic where they raped all the children. And there was like this ongoing rape thing that Count Dacula talked about. And let him, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, send him to St. George's Island. Down in the middle, like out by the Falklands, and he can live there with all the fucking penguins. I don't really care. Just get him the fuck out of here. Follow the rules and get him out of here. I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy about it. I'll be so damn happy. Crash out. It's easy. I'm just telling them. Just do it. Just do it. It's not like if that's a crash out, fine, but it's like just do the fucking thing. Put the fries in the bag. Put the immigrants on the airplanes. Like put them in. Get the judge to stamp the order. That's all I need for you to do. That's all I need for you to do is just get that to happen. It's not hard. So that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do for this. And it's not a hard thing. It's not a hard thing. Chat. It's not hard. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It's just not hard. It's just not hard. I don't know why. Now, ultimately, let's get through this real quick. She's just going to point out he's stuck here. So since 2019, they've made no effort to remove him. They talked about, like, what are you going to do? How are we going to get rid of him? You know, she talks about them slow footing his return from El Salvador, but fuck you. We did everything we could. Now, they've made one empty threat after another, remove him to Africa with no chance of success. And yes, they've ignored the one country that has consistently offered to accept him as a refugee, Costa Rica. I mean, yes, giving him what he wants looks really bad. But just fucking get rid of him. Just fucking get rid of his fucking ass. It's not hard. You know, they claimed Liberia would accept him. And then, you know, they said that they've asserted other countries, which kind of undermines the idea he's going to be able to go there. There have been no travel documents secured to effectuate his removal. Now, you might say, well, wait, we're deporting him. What kind of documents? You still need documents. You can't just, like, drop him off somewhere. Like, formal processes and paperwork have to be done. These countries have to grant visas and release to them. So none of these documents have been set up. Nothing's been set up at all. They haven't done a goddamn thing. And the court believes there's no reason to believe removal's reasonably likely in the future. Yeah. You know, and they've done nothing to show that, you know, he could be there. So he must remain on the stringent release conditions already imposed in his Tennessee case. So his habeas is now enjoined. Yeah. So basically, we just got told fuck off. We just got told fuck off. Oh, it's so tiring, chat. It's so tiring. It's tiring as hell. How this all just do the goddamn thing, guys. Just do the goddamn thing. Just do the goddamn thing. We're not asking for a lot, chat. We're not asking for a lot out of life. We just want you to do the thing. We just want you to do the thing. But they won't do it. John Coleman's been a member for 22 months. Says, why does Boasberg look like Mr. Burns? Yes, he is the chief judge of the D.C. District Court. I don't know, but yes, he very much does. It very much does. We need to do the needful, yes. But thank you, John, for being here for 22 months. Very much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much here. Hold on, chat. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't tell you guys. So, it's just so frustrating. Like, let's just do the thing. Let's just do the thing. I don't understand why we can't do the thing. I don't understand why we can't do the thing. It's so not hard. It's so not hard to not do the thing. It's so hard to not do the thing here. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But someday maybe we will. So, indeed, the needful. Well, hold on here, chat. I'm trying to get this to. You guys are just ridiculous out there. So, that is that's going to be it for us tonight. So we are going to wrap this up here. I'm going to take us over to the Juliana Magalhaes sentencing. I told you we would cover this, and then we'll start the call-in show. If they do the thing, what will be the end of the midterms? Yeah, Angela, that's all for the night. No, guys, we got to do the Brendan Banfield sentencing. Like, just listen. Écoutez, les enfants. We're going to go into the Brendan Banfield thing. Remember, the nanny got sentenced. We're going to watch that real quick, and then we're going to do the call-in show. We're going to do the call-in show after that. Just hang tight there, guys. Just hang tight. Just écoutez les enfants. We're not done. But remember, it's going to be members only for the call-in show, and we're going to get that. That's going to be set after this is over. The sentencing's about 30 minutes long. Angela says, "What's the call-in show?" It's a call-in show. You guys can call in and talk. It is the call-in show. It's just going to be a call-in show here on YouTube. And I'm doing that because I need to show that, like, the members only. I've said I was trying to get stuff done for them, and I haven't gotten them stuff done lately. I need to get them more things going there. So they're entitled to that. And we need to hold on. I need to get that up here. And then amateur iconic. Oh, we're doing some. We do freebirding this real quick. All right, I guess. Are we freebirding? Oh, chat. I think we are. Oh, chat. Let's have everybody join us tonight. Amateur Iconoclast gifting 1 sub. SB Sellers gifting 10 subs. EDW Raptor gifting 10 subs. Terrorism is a new member. Thank you, Terrorism. EDW Raptor with 10 more subs. VTubing Enthusiast with 10 more subs. 5 more subs. Sorry, 5. Chooching for 10 more subs, chat. Terrorism for 10 more. Oh. USA no cocks. Yeah, well. Anyway, chat, there we go. So we're going to end that now because we got to wrap up here. We got to wrap up. Bella for 10 subs. Unforced Ego for 10 subs. Yeah, make all the Grays duck. So. Ammo's Currency for 1 sub. It's a pick-me-el. Coco says, eat shit, Phil. Spun Gun for 5 subs. Dirty Eric's like he's got immunity. Good for you, Eric. You are not getting that there. Don't there. Yes, we're channels under attack, chat. Yes, pray the gray away. Pray the gray away. So there we go. All right, guys. We got to get over there. Am I coming out on Black History Month is a little unconventional? Yeah. Yes, chat. We're going to end it. Ending with a good... Oh, that was weird. Didn't end with an awoo there. Didn't end with an awoo. So, Young Bitter for 12 months. That's a shame. Good. How you doing? Still can't give subs on mobile. Let's go. That's right, chat. I don't know why it's not letting you. That sucks. Once again, I don't understand why it, I don't know why it does that. It's you think YouTube would have figured this all out, how to make this all work one way or another. But remember, if you have iPhones, that's generally your big problem. If you're dealing with stuff, is iPhones. So that's the big problem there. So sorry, but it probably is your issue. Yeah, fixed it for you. Can other people? I think some other people can. Yeah, and there's brand accounts too, but I think, there's all kinds of problems. There's all kinds of problems with this stupidity. You think YouTube would fix it, but yeah, if you're using a Droid phone, there's no problems. Like I said, guys, I don't know what's going on. It just all sucks. The way they handle it. YouTube sucks at dealing with this. And you think they would fix it, but they haven't yet. And one day they might. One day they might. And we are going to... There we go. So, does YouTube hate gray? It's planned obsolescence. Yeah. It's Apple being cucks. So you think Apple would figure out, YouTube would figure out what they need to do. So, all right, guys, we are all done here. We're all done. We are going to wrap this up. We're going to head over to Juliana Magalhaes and get her sentencing underway. So I will see you guys next time. And, just remember, chat, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Seller says, show the age analytics for this channel. I don't know. Like, you can Google my age when the channel started. So, technically it started back in 2019, but I abandoned it for like a couple of years. So, it's not really a thing anymore. But anyways, let's, I'll see you guys over there, chat. I'll see you over there in a couple minutes.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy?